Business and Arts South Africa is inviting small and micro enterprises within the cultural and creative industries to apply for the Presidential Employment Stimulus Program grant funding. BASA is one of 5 entities involved in implementing the South African Presidency and the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture's funding initiative. Let's get you more detail. We're joined by Aviwe Matandela, who is responsible for finance and operations at Business and Arts South Africa. Thank you for availing yourself this morning. Why this call for people to apply for funding?
Thank you so much for having us. So the Presidential Employment Stimulus Fund, which BASA is also implementing as one of the 5 entities of the department, is an initiative that was developed in response to the severe economic impact caused by the coronavirus pandemic. So I think the program is basically the aim is to create employment or to protect the livelihood as well as protect existing jobs, particularly in the creative sector, which is the rollout that we are currently as BASA managing.
Sure. So when you speak of the cultural and creative industries, whom within the cultural and creative industries qualifies, and what is a cultural industry?
Anyone in the cultural creative industries would include performance, dance, design, music, visual, anything that is in the creative sector, media and entertainment as well. So anyone within the entertainment and cultural and arts and culture sector would qualify as part of the cultural and creative industry.
What are you looking for? So in terms of proposals, so if I come to you and I say I have X idea, what would then get me to the next stage to be considered for funding?
So for BASA specifically, we are looking for projects that promote human capital development. So, and the nature of most projects in the arts, it's events or films or, etc. BASA is not necessarily focusing on film production or events or festivals in our particular core of funding. We want projects that will build capacity in the sector. So that focus on skills training, education, technology, wellness, coaching, any initiatives within the cultural and creative industries that promote human capital development and that create jobs specifically for women, youth and people living with disabilities. That's our focus and target groups. So if you have a proposal or you have a project that you are planning or you want to do that meets this criteria, then you can send us an expression of interest letter to BASA. Then that's the first phase. That's the first thing you have to do. Just send us an expression of interest letter. And if your project is then eligible, you'll be invited to then fill out a fuller application online.
Sure. Is this a normal call for applications, or does it speak to people not maybe approaching BASA and looking for funding? Do people know about the organization? Sorry, I don't think I understand. Is the call open to the public or? Sorry, yeah. So in terms of the people within the cultural and creative space, that there's a call by BASA to say, come and approach us so that we can be able to fund whatever idea you have. What does that speak to? Is it because people are not approaching you, or is this just a normal, every year this is what BASA does? We do have funding programs at BASA. It's got a supporting grant program which happens yearly. This one is specifically an initiative of the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture as well as the Presidency. And it's really just about responding to the economic impact, of the coronavirus and aiming to create jobs. So it's not a yearly thing, but this is the 3rd run. BASA is implementing for the first time this year. And it's just about finding jobs, and we're focusing specifically on small and micro enterprises. So we're really focusing on the smaller businesses, the entrepreneurs within the cultural and creative industries who have ideas that promote human capital development or projects that promote human capital development. So it's open to the public. It's not necessarily about that people are not approaching or don't know BASA per se, but it's just a call to say, here is a funding program. If you have an idea and you can create jobs for the sector, then please apply to BASA for this funding. Got you. Aviwe Matandela is with the Business and Arts South Africa. She's the Finance and Operations Manager there. Thank you, ma'am.